Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Poulos. I'm a professor of communication studies here at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. This paper is entitled Echoes of the Past, Traces of Possibility, Dreams, Grief, Memory, Opening. In this autoethnographic essay, I trace my journey toward the possibility of healing by walking my story through overpowering grief, painful memory, and healing dreams of possibility. As I stumble into my deepest emotional pain that I've carried through all 6 decades of my life, I find myself writing the origins of my trauma, the depths of my grief, the fragments of my memories, and the openings offered by new dreams that have emerged since undertaking new means of therapy. It is my hope that in offering this work to the world, we can share a transformative space that allows for all of us to see ways to heal and to become whole. Not to deny our trauma, not to suppress our grief, but to feel our way through it together as we write and read and listen and speak. What you will hear today is a small chunk of a larger book project I'm working on. Here goes. Echoes across time. I have this strange recurring dream. In the dream, I discover our house is a hidden next room I didn't know about. In the dream, I'm trying to remember where this room came from and how I got here and why I don't remember it, despite having lived in this house for many years. I wonder, what is this place? Where did it come from? How did I get here? How did it get here? Why have I never noticed it? And what's it for? For some reason, as I enter, I feel drawn to the center of this room. The trouble is, it's hard to tell exactly where the center is because it's dark and the room is cavernous, with high ceilings receding into darkness and walls receding into the distance. I feel a sort of presence there, though I see nobody. So I call out, "Hello!" Nobody answers. There's only the soft echo of my voice. "Hello, hello, hello." I call out again, "Hello!" The briefest of pauses follows as I listen for the echo. "Hello, hello, hello." Listening to the echo, I fall into reflection, mostly on the nature of echoes, which seem to me to be traces of a presence that's both here and not here, there and not there, or something that's fading out but having a hard time with it, resisting the very fading that is its essence. The sound of my voice is gone, over, but at the same time it's there, in a new form, coming back to me, even as it falls away. The echo represents, it seems to me, the presence of an absence and the absence of a presence. I wake up puzzled in the midst of my musing, engulfed in the mystery. I shake my head and go on about my day. But the room haunts me. I keep hearing murmurs of these echoes, and one day it occurs to me, echoes, I need to write into and through these echoes. I need to write the possibilities generated by calling out into the emptiness and the inevitable echoes that come from the calling. And then I think maybe the echo receding into the distance, fading slowly into silence, represents the echo of possibilities that lives in the spaces between speaking and listening. Maybe the dream is an invitation to possibility. So today I sat down and started this project. This project is about traces of something that is presenting itself to me, to us, while receding, fading, falling away. This project is about the echoes of presence, heard and felt and remembered over time. It's about the echoes of absence, heard and felt and remembered over time. This project is an autoethnography of memory and forgetting, of connection and disconnection, of presence and absence. It is a story of leaning into memory, of memory stumbling into story, of story tumbling headlong into dialogue. I write about traces reverberating across time, as memories erupt, as stories are made, as dialogue is engaged, as people come and go, as I make my way into and through and toward the liminal spaces between voice and echo, between presence and absence, between memory and forgetting, between story and secret, between dialogue and silence, between hope and despair, between connection and alienation. It is a story of calling out into the void and hoping for at least an echo to come back. Yes, it is true. I do hear a faint echo drifting across time. I feel its resonance in my bones. I almost grab hold of it, almost recognize its voice, its words, but it quickly starts to fade. I want to reach out across time and place to the source. I know that voice. It is calling me. Can I trace its path from here in the present moment to the place where it all began? The echo is like a fragment of memory, a trace of something that may or may not have happened. The echo is like a trace of trauma stored deep in my body. The echo is like a piece of story, a fragment of something made possible by writing or speaking it into space across time. The echo is like a line of dialogue, a trace of the divine spark that connects us, human to human. The echo is like a faint whisper of human co-presence, for why would I call out if I did not crave connection? The echo is like the fading sound of my father's voice, a sound I still hear in my head, in my heart, 3 years after his death, a sound I will always hear. The echo is like the little wisps of hope that hover at the edges of despair. The echo is that thin line that separates consciousness from itself, that I must step across to awaken. The echo is, well, this work is about a search for possibility in the thinnest of spaces, in the faintest of traces of echoes, in the little murmurs that ripple through my consciousness from time to time. Its story is a collage of fragmented memories, of traumatic interruptions, of faint voices from the past, of places I have stood and where my ancestors stood, of echoes across time and toward hope, meaning, story, an opening. Burn your maps. To take the story where it wants to go, I must talk about grief for a moment. I have suffered a lot of loss in my life. Many people I have loved have died. I still don't know how to grieve. We don't come equipped with a map to guide us in how to face the excruciating pain of the loss of a loved one. When I was a kid, 12 to be exact, my family, just like so many American families, sat down on a Thursday to an ordinary, extraordinary Thanksgiving dinner. That date, etched forever into my memory, was November 26, 1970. And in the next room, at the moment my dad started to say our prayer of thanks, my uncle died. Within a year and a half of that day, 3 other family members, my aunt and my grandfather on my dad's side, and my great-grandfather on my mom's side, died. 4 in 2 years. And we were left standing shakily on a much smaller foundation. The fallout of all that death was devastating. My grandmother sank into a depression that lasted for another 12 years until she died, engulfed in despair. My father was depressed, grief-stricken really, for another 35 years until he too succumbed to despair. In September of 1998, my other grandfather, my mom's dad, James Leckie, died. He had a memorable life, a remarkable life, lasting for 94 years, almost the entire 20th century. He was one of my favorite humans ever. He was my rock, the boldest, most courageous man I have ever encountered. His life left a mark on me. His sudden death left a hole in my heart that took many years to heal. Fast forward another 14 years, and on August 24th, 2012, my friend and mentor, the new ethnographer, Bud Goodall, died of pancreatic cancer. 2 days later, our dear dog, Jake, died. 2 months later, our mutual friend and ethnog, Nick Trujillo, died suddenly of a heart attack. And just a couple of months later, in February 2013, my father-in-law died on the day after a high school teammate of my son died suddenly in the middle of a basketball game. That summer, a recently graduated student committed suicide, and a friend's son died of an overdose, 7 in 11 months. Fast forward again to July of 2019, and my dad died after a brief illness, and the ground fell away under my feet. A month later, a close friend's wife died of cancer, followed shortly by our dear dog, Jesse, another friend to cancer, and another to emphysema, 5 in 3 months. I felt like I got run over by a truck. And last summer, after a beautiful hike in the mountains of Virginia, our dear sweet dog, Jackson, one of my many four-legged best friends, died suddenly in the car. I tell you all this to say, I should be an expert in grief, but I still see no map. I don't know how exactly to process all that loss. What I mostly do is write and cry and tell stories. As best I can, I try to bring the pieces of my loved ones into my life. Keep them with me. Hold on to the memories. But there are no maps. There is no instruction manual. There is no certain way back home. So I still don't fully get what to do with death and loss and grief. Apparently, I'm not the only one. The 2016 film, Burn Your Maps, shows the struggle of a family trying to cope with the sudden death of their infant girl, Lily. And they are thrown into questioning the meaning of family and home and grief and lost. Through the fantasy, memory, dream world of the 8-year-old son, Wes, they are thrown straight into an adventure that teaches them how to begin to navigate the profoundest of losses. In the end, facing directly the question of what to do when we just don't know what to do, how to go on, Wes says, leave it all behind, come with nothing, leave your maps, burn them, rip them up, burn them, and come, even if it's far away, even if you don't understand, even if it's far away, even if it's only in a dream, and head out on an adventure. Burn your maps, if you even have maps. And as Albert Camus writes in his essay, Return to Tapasa, I strive to forget. I walk in our cities of iron and fire. I smile bravely at the night. I hail the storms. I shall be faithful. I have forgotten, in truth, active and deaf henceforth. But perhaps someday, when we are ready to die of exhaustion and ignorance, I shall be able to disown our garish tombs and go out and stretch out in the valley under the same light and learn for the last time what I know. Maybe that's what we need to do with our grief. Lie in the light and learn what we already know. For myself, I think I just need to venture forth for now, to keep going, to cry out like a voice in the wilderness, like writing in the dark as I'm doing right now, hoping to send these words out beyond me to you. And like the echo, maybe some of my words will return, a little lighter, a bit softer. Maybe some of your words will return, a little lighter, a bit softer. Maybe, like the voice that starts the echo, we all just need to go out, venture about, and then come home a little less burdened. Thank you. Let's talk.